Hello, welcome to these daily drawing video compilation. I'm doing the time lapse. This is drawings 46 through 52. And first up, we have Gun Guy, Lee Snipes from the Wrenchies. It's also called Steve. I think I had a panel where someone mentioned his name was Steve, so it's part of his whole name, I guess, long name. But most Hollis, the main one of the main guys in the Wrenchies, just calls him Gun Guy or Bug Guy after he gets turned into a bug. Yeah. So first, I'm inking with a Faber-Castell Pitt pen. I think this is a S. I usually use size S or XS, and I'm eating an apple, it seems, as well. And here I'm coloring with watercolors and gouache. Use Holbein watercolors. I think that's how you pronounce that. And the gouache, I don't remember. It's like Caran d'Ache or something like that. I use a Raphael 8404 brush. And yeah, this guy was one of the grown-up Wrenchies, one of the adult Wrenchies. And he shoots hellfire out of his guns. And yeah, he doesn't have a lot to say in the comic, but I like him. And yeah, so this next up we have is a character I just call Teddy. I don't think he's actually named in the comic, but he's from It Will All Hurt, which takes place in the same world as the Wrenchies. Kind of different vibe. It was more of like a loose stream of consciousness story, while Wrenchies was really labored over the story, and I inked mostly with a brush. And It Will All Hurt, I didn't even pencil first, so this is more detail and more careful than I'm being with this daily drawing than I was with any of the Wrenchies pages. You can kind of see a copy of the Wrenchies, or It Will All Hurt pages. You can see a copy of it on the side there. And this guy, he's a bad guy. He's only in a couple of scenes, or one scene really, but over the course of some pages. And he's a tormentor of Leon Fireglove, and I use him as just his head as a sketch in all the issue ones of It Will All Hurt. I have since I first came out, just because he's on the facing page. And he's kind of a real simple, fun character to do like a head sketch of. Just like do a circle, a couple dots for eyes, a heart for a nose, and then the teeth. And I can usually whip one out in, I don't know, just a few seconds, and I think they end up looking kind of fun. And yeah, he's sort of a weird dude, and but I like drawing him. And this one I spent a little longer on the colors than I normally would, and I added more colors. It's less of a limited palette than my normal stuff, but I was pretty pleased with it, the way it came out. I think it was like something about the simplicity of the design added to it. And this next guy here, I'm just showing you some pages from my book Delusional, because I don't have a sketch of this, or have a sketch of it, but this isn't necessarily like a character in one of my stories. He was just, I just did like a D&D type character for this book, my art book Delusional, from Ad House Books, came out in 2013. And someone on my Patreon asked me, I guess they just liked the drawing, was like, hey, I like that Lord of the Rings dwarf character. Can you do one of your daily drawings as that? And so it was pretty fun. I just basically copied the drawing I did, and I changed it a little bit, but it was kind of fun just to work from a guide of a drawing I've already done. And here's the finish. And I just kept that one black and white. Next we have up is Stony from the Wrenchies, and she's one of the younger Wrenchies. And she's a girl. She's kind of has like a sort of androgynous sort of look to it. I think I even mentioned that, if not in the comic, in like a drawing that I've done before, where she's like, hey, I'm a girl, you know. But she's kind of like the sort of sage-like character, this spiritual leader, I guess I could say, of the younger Wrenchies. And she likes taking pills, because drugs are abound in the weird post-apocalyptic world of the Wrenchies. For whatever reason, there's like machines and stuff that still dispense drugs, so a couple of the Wrenchies partake. I mean, there was a bunch of stuff I was thinking about that, like putting all the drug stuff in there. It was like kind of a metaphor, or kind of I don't know, commentary, I should say, on, you know, of our times. And here's a page that of her in action in the Wrenchies. This next guy we got is this weird pig creature, which I don't have a name for yet. I'm doing a contest right now on my Instagram, still going on, to kind of come up with a name for him. And there's been some pretty good suggestions so far. I haven't decided yet which one I want to use, but probably in the next couple days I'll come up with a winner and send a free drawing of any character from It Won't Hurt to whoever comes up with a good name for him that I pick. And the contest is going on my Instagram right now, so if you see this video in time, go check out this post and give your suggestion. But he's like the Teddy guy. He's basically like his partner or something that sort of torments Leon Fireglove. And he's just a weird dude who's got some problems, I guess, and he gets upset that Leon won't let him finish talking, and Leon dispatches him and Teddy without realizing that he does it. He kind of goes into his inner council, and then when he wakes up, it's like this guy's head's just like a bloody mess. It's not necessarily a kid's story, but there's a lot of violence and stuff, but it's kind of cartoonish violence. This next guy is Orson Breadcoat. He's a brother of Sherwood Presley Breadcoat, who is the main guy in the Wrenchies, and he's been in a lot of my stories. Sherwood is like a big character, but Orson's kind of like a side character, but he's been around since I've been making up stories. He was in an old comic I did, a web comic called Super Mundane, that was based off of my first self-published comic called Smith's Adventures in the Super Mundane. And he's a friend to this guy Smith, and they travel on this airship, and he's kind of he's kind of I wouldn't say a bully, but he's kind of like a sort of he's sarcastic and kind of, teases. He likes to tease people. And so I brought him back as a character in Proxima Centauri, and he razzes Hollis a lot, who's, he's a sensitive kid, and Orson's just kind of not a sensitive kid. His brother Sherwood's kind of more sensitive than he is, and so he's always just, poking fun at Sherwood and kind of a little more happy-go-lucky dude. But him and his brother Sherwood go into this elf cave when they're really young, around this age, and they get in a fight with this demonic elf creature. And Orson here ends up chopping his head off with that big sword, and kills a bunch of demons and elves with his brother for the next few years. And here's a page from the Wrenchies, one of the first pages in the Wrenchies, right after he chops the elf's head off. All right, next up I don't have a still shot of the sketch for this one, but this is Prophet. This is a second Prophet drawing I've done for these daily drawings. And Prophet is a character created by Rob Liefeld in the 90s. And Brandon Graham and Simon Roy rebooted him it was 10 years ago, maybe less than 10 years ago, and completely changed him, put it way far in the future and made it more of a sci-fi epic. The pitch was Conan in space. That was their, kind of idea behind it. And so it's the space barbarian character who's got all these different clones of himself all over the galaxy, and they're involved in this big space war. And I got to draw a couple issues, and just in the couple issues I got to draw, I got to create a bunch of fun stuff with Brandon, these weird space baby things that Brandon called Starskins, and these weird brain mother things, and I gave my version of Prophet a tail. I designed the suit after Simon's version. But yeah, I got to add a bunch of fun stuff to it, and it was a lot of fun working on that series. I wish I could have done more. And that's it for this week. There's 7 drawings here, and I got it under 10 minutes. So thanks a lot for checking these out, and go join my Patreon if you want one of these daily drawings. Thanks.